Alright, here we go. Went in the house, I got the cover out, and I got the high pressure fuel pump. Got those out, and see this little thing right here, little cup. He's got a new one of those in the box right here. Here we go. Alright, so we're gonna need that. And we're gonna need the gasket. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is get our poly drive number 10 socket. It's got a VW number, VW5220. And we got our 1/2-inch drive torque wrench, and I got it set down to 73.3. Now, put this thing over here. Now, I am very nervous about this, and I know I trust this tool 100%, but I don't know, just something. So I actually got 2 vice grips to hold this also in place, because I'm just, you know, there's a lot of torque on this thing, and I don't want these cams to spin in any kind of way. So we got that. You notice, if you're gonna do like I did on this, you definitely gonna have to do that. If you use that CTA tool, you definitely gonna have to do that, and it still might spin. Don't put it so where the pressure's going to the center part, because see, this is very thin right here, and you will crack that. All right. So, let me get my camera set up right here. And now what we're listening for is for the torque wrench. Lock this into place. We're looking for the torque wrench to click. And that's how we know we got it. And you want to make sure that thing is square in there. Here. Alright, let me get me some gloves and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And guys, it's a good idea to have 2 people do this, to want to make sure this thing holds into place, because you don't want this thing to strip out. Okay, remember, we're listening for a click. Got it, you heard that? Man, I'm Superman. And these cams didn't move a bit. You can see our timing marks are still on. It didn't move a bit. We are done back there. Now check this out. Now this part I'm gonna, man, I better not be getting bit by no mosquitoes out here. Dang it. All right, now let's what we're gonna do is here is let's back this off. Pop off our vice grips. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is, and as you saw in part 3, see how it looks like it's just a tad bit off. I mean, just a little bit off. And if you notice, I still got, see, I got a little slack in the chain underneath. So once I turn this clockwise to line up, that slack is going completely away, and my locator's still in place. So I'm gonna go up underneath the car. Well, first, you know what? I gotta jack this car up. I gotta jack this car up, put it on jack stands again, and get my 19mm 12-point socket. I'm gonna go down there to the crankshaft, and we're gonna turn this just a tad bit, just a little bit till it's marked up. All right, be right back. All right, now I'm gonna get up under the car here, and what I got here is a 19mm 3/8 drive. This is like a shallow socket, 12-point. It's got to be 12-point. And I got my long flex head 3/8 drive ratchet. This is a, what is this? This is a Craftsman, and this thing's been really great, man. I don't know what the heck, man. This is really great. I don't know what the heck. Maybe it was before they got junky. All right. So I'm gonna go up under here and show you what I'm doing here. Alright, up under the engine. There we go, right there. There's our harmonic balancer. Right there. I'll move the plug out the way. And that's the plug for the fan. We just popped that out of there if you remember. And what we're gonna do here is get our socket. And get our socket up on there on the bolt some kind of way. This is ridiculous, man. You know, they could have definitely made this so it's better. I don't know. What the heck? Alright, let me see. Maybe I'll try my... Being that I'm right-handed, let me try my right hand. Fine. That's the way we're gonna play it. Tell you what. Try to be nice. Put it up on the ratchet first. I was trying to put that up there because there's not that much room in there. But this thing is aggravating me. Why not do that from the beginning? Alright, there we go. And what I'm gonna do is just turn it just, and as a matter of fact, I just did, just a tad bit. Because what I want to make sure is that my mark is completely on. I thought I did. Alright, let's see. A little bit more. I'm not even sure what I'm turning it. Or what? Okay, let's try this again. I mean, that was... I want to make sure that thing is perfect, man. I mean, no questions asked. Just picture perfect. You see, I'm right there, so I just want to... Just a tad bit more, man. Look at that. It's like dinner. That's perfect. I'm hitting the chain, but I got no play. That's me hitting it. That's great. Oh, listen, I thought I tightened those down. All right, let's get a bolt, get a socket, and take that tool out of there. All right, set my camera up right here. And we got the two 5mm hex bolts. Let's take them out. And when you take this tool out, this tool should have no kind of resistance. It should be like and pull it out. Oh, you in some trouble. All right. And already I can see you can see the tool shaking. Look at that. Came right out of there. No problem at all. That's what you want. This is the cool tool. All right, I'm going to put this tool up, and the next thing we're going to do is go over here and put those new seals inside the housing cover, camshaft for just the housing cover. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. We got our cover here, and we got our bolts inside. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and you can see one of our seals is already broken. Here's our new seals. So what I'm gonna do here is get me a pick, and I just want to go around pop those old seals out of there. And seals give me, I should have just used a French scripts or something. Really? Damn thing just broke. Okay, let's go down to the second one. Make sure, okay, that's the one that broke. The second one, but there is a little piece still in there. I just felt it. I just saw it turning. You know what? Let me get me another pick. And so that just got that out of there. Now let's go down to the third row and see how that one is as far as coming out, not how it is, whether you're going to keep it or not. So how that just broke apart in there. Alright, there's what's left of our old seals. The next thing we're going to do, guys, we're going to get some carburetor cleaner, and we're going to spray all in here, clean all this out. We want to make sure no pieces are left, like for instance that right there. We want to make sure all pieces are out of this thing. Alright, take my gloves off. As a matter of fact, while we're here, take off your old gasket, because we're not going to need that no more. Alright, there it is. Alright, I'm going to spray this up. Now clean, we're also at the same time we're going to spray this up, and we're going to clean up around here. And make that, and don't use anything really hard, abrasive, because it can scar this. And then it'll start leaking oil, and then you'll be upset at me. And I don't want that. So what you're going to do is just get you maybe light, very, very, like 1,000 grit sandpaper or something, and just go across it. I'm going to use a wire brush just to take off the little ring right there, as you see. And we're going to clean it. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that first, then I'm going to spray everything up. Clean it. Alright? Be right back. Alright, you know what? I decided I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing here. First, what I'm going to do, you know what? I'm going to go right here. Give me a rag. I need a rag. Let me get me a rag. I'm going to wipe this off, wipe this edge off. Alright. Then, I got my wire brush right here. Let me hook up some air. And you can, you don't have to have air. Hook it up to your air drill. Just take this piece and hook it up to your air drill. Your electric drill, cordless drill. Alright. I'm going to go around here. And clean this up. And you can see I got it in a pan because there's still oil in here. So alright, that's looking good. Now I would spray it with carburetor cleaner or brake clean. I don't have neither, so I'm using starting fluid. I know it's more expensive, but it does clean it a heck of a lot better though. I'm gonna clean it up in there. Oh, that stuff can stink too. I'm gonna clean up on the outside and everything. You know, make it look good. Get all that oil out of there. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is get my air, air chuck, and I'm going to just blow this and clean this up. And then we're going to come back and we're going to install them seals. Alright? Right back. Alright, got that nice and cleaned up. The next thing we're going to do is install our seals. Let's get us a good look at what we're doing here. And what I'm going to do, Pratik got 50W40. Now, what they recommend, what they said, you're supposed to use 5W40 synthetic. This is fully synthetic. I don't believe he's going to have any kind of problems with this. And what I'm going to do here is take a little bit and put in a little cap here. Okay. And be very careful opening up this pack, because these are plastic seals. They can break on you. You handle them, try to manhandle these things. Alright. And actually, I should be taking these out and use it without my gloves, because it's very difficult to work with the gloves on this thing. As you can see, it's taking me longer to open up this package than to do this job. It sucks. There we go. And I just put all three of them in there. Now let's see if we can get you set up at a good angle. Yeah, you can see that. And see the three grooves. We're going to be setting them on. Alright. So I'm going to take one. And I am going to slowly, because there's an opening in them. You want to slowly just hook that around and walk it around, and just like that. There's one. Notice I got the first one in, because what I want to do is use that first one as a so the second one don't lock into place on that one. And now we're going to go down to the other one. And take your time with this. I mean, you're not in no rush or nothing. And as you can see, I just went right past that. Matter of fact, I went past my second groove. So what I'm going to do here is just walk it down to the last groove and slowly spin it into place. You know, I should not be. I should take these gloves off. Alright. There we go. You are now got the first and third seal on. Now, you know what? Taking my gloves off. Forget this. It's easier this way. Now let's walk our second seal around. Okay. And there we go. There we have it. All three seals are in place. 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna just dab a little oil, put a little oil around them, like that, so they go nice and no problem. All right, let me clean my hands up, and we'll be right back. We're gonna get a new rag to wipe this. Let me see if I can bring this out now. Let's get us a nice clean rag and wipe this off, and get our new gasket. Be right back. Okay, got me a nice fresh rag. Go around here and wipe this off. That's great. All right, now let's get our new gasket. Where the heck is the gasket at? Okay, here it is. Let's open this up. And this gasket's got little rings right here. These little guide pins. Make sure you use those guide pins to line up this gasket. Okay. And you see this little oil passage here? Make sure try to line that up just like that. And push the gasket down into place. Right there, and that little pin. And then it's going to take a little pressure. Push it down on that little pin. I mean, they should have had more, but I guess it's okay. And there we go. It's ready to install. Now before we install it, let's go over here and take a walk and look at something here. What the heck is this on this camera? Alright. Now, because you won't see this once I put this in. You see this right here? Be very cautious about this. This hooks on, this bolts your the vacuum pump. The vacuum pump, this bolts up right up to the vacuum pump. And it's got them ground wires up there. So if you don't bolt this back on, you're gonna have some serious issues because that's a lot of grounds right there. All right. Now everything is good, and you want to also make sure this lobe, it's like a big triangle. Make sure it's not worn out or anything, because if it's worn out, you're gonna be replacing this cam. And this lobe right here, this is what drives the high pressure fuel pump. All right. Now let me get a mirror here. Now. Let me get a mirror, set it back here. I can show you something. You see, there's our cam adjuster right there. You know, why the mirror always when you're looking to do something with a mirror, it sets up everywhere except for where you want it to. Just like a light. If you look at it, the beginning is made like it's more open than at the beginning of it. It's more open, and then as it goes in, it's smaller. That's so when you put them new seals in, them seals will squeeze together and go right in there without breaking anything. So you want to make sure you get a rag and wipe up around them edges and make sure there's no carbon or anything on there. You want to make sure those seals go in nice and good, and then once we wipe it off, we're gonna put some little bit of dab of oil in there. Alright, so let's set our mirror back up here. We're gonna get our rag. We're gonna go back here and make sure nothing, no pieces or anything from the old timing chain tensioner. Make sure everything is cleaned out good. All right. And we still got our little oil right here, so what we're gonna do is dab our fingers into the oil and just put a nice little coat on the inside. Okay, next we're gonna do is get a rag And you want to really wipe around where that gasket sets at, where that cover sets at. So that don't leak. Make sure you wipe it good. Yeah, looks good. Right, now we're ready to put that cover on. So what I'm going to set you up here on the stand. And I'm going to get the cover. And we're going to set it on. Alright, right back. Okay, here we go. Got our cover. And I just want to slowly, carefully lower our cover into place. Now you remember, now I'm at that point where the seals are going into that camshaft adjuster. And the only thing I'll do is slowly just push it forward. Just like that. Alright, now on our bolts. I see Petite did get new bolts, but for some reason they only gave him 3 of the cover bolts. You can see them right there. Well, them bolts go to something else. They look like the cover bolts. They look exactly like that. No, they don't. They look a little different. So we gotta see what those. Why they give him these 3 bolts? Now I know they gave him. They also gave him 3 bolts for the high pressure pump. We can get to that in a minute. All right. So we got our bolts over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. With a T30. These are T30 bolts. So what we're going to be using is our short T30, the one I got from Duralast, AutoZone. T30 with a 2-inch, 1/4-inch drive extension, and my socket also is 1/4-inch drive. All right. So let's set you up over here. Get our bolts, and what I'm going to do is start with the top one. Just bring that in. Go to our next one. Go to our next one. Walk around. And we got 3 more. Okay, now looking at our gasket right here. We got 1 down on the below, 1 right there, and 1 right there. And what I'll do is I'll try to show you in the mirror once I install these other 3. And these other 3, sometimes it can be kind of difficult. Let me see, I could take my hand and I can run my finger right around there. It looks like I can get 1 right there. Make sure. Or can I? I'm not even sure anymore. This is. Yeah, there we go. 1. 2 is going to be difficult. So what we're going to do, I'm show you a little trick. Let me get this all cleaned up. And I'll be right back. Okay. The other 2 are going to be kind of difficult. So what you're going to do is get your socket the T30 with your extension. Take a piece of plastic, fold it, put it over the bolt, and you're going to use a little pressure to stick the socket right in there, just like that. See that? Now we'll come out of there. So what I can do here is go around now and try to locate that other hole. Okay. Got one. My plastic fell down, but I don't care. You need it anyway. Give me another piece of plastic and do the same thing. And our final bolt is over this way somewhere. There we go. Now, tightening these up, the one right below here is what I'm going to tighten up first, right in the center. And what I'm going to do is get my 1/4" drive ratchet, reach back here, my socket and extension. I'm going to get it lined up and start it. There it is. Then I'm going to get my ratchet and tighten it up. Great, there we go. Now the reason why I'm doing the bottom first, because it's very seldom oil, once in a while oil will hit at the top, but mainly at the bottom, because that's where oil we're going to set. So I want to make sure I get them bottom ones tightened up and bring that in nice and tight. Alright, so now I'm going to go over here to my corner one down here. Tighten that one up. Then I'm going to go over to that side. Then I'm going to go to the center. And then I'm going to work my way out and tighten those up. Alright, let's get that done and we'll be right back. One thing I did forget to mention, guys, is that this is aluminum. We're going into aluminum. So when you tighten these up, you're just going to go till the ratchet stops and just a little bit more. Now I'm used to this, that's why I'm able to pretty much feel where those bolts are at. And you'll get used to it, so don't get aggravated when you can't find them. Alright, so as soon as it stops, just tighten up a little bit more and that's it. So I got my 3 done down there. Now I got 4 more to do. And I'm going to start from my center one right here. Bring that in. Stops and a little bit more. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to be done with that. Be right back. Alright, that is all complete, nice and tight. Everything is looking good. The next thing we're going to do is we're looking at our high pressure power steering pump. Now remember that triangle in the triangle lobe in the back of the camshaft, the intake cam? That's what this little cup rides on. This little cup fits right in there like that, and it rides right on that lobe to operate this pump. And as you can see, Pratik was gracious enough to get us a new one. So let's open that up. and you definitely want to get you a new one, because these things do tend to wear down. Alright, so I'm just going to stick that up there. And we got 3 bolts holding that down. And it looks like these are the 3 bolts right here. New bolts that he got. I mean, nothing's wrong with his bolts, but hey, he got them, so why not use them? I mean, they're brand new bolts. Let's use them. Alright? So first, let's take us a rag and go over here. And we're gonna clean off inside where that pump sets at. Here we go. Now, very important, you see this bolt? This is one of the bolts that holds the lines in. And you notice how the bottom of it, that little way it's made, that's to seal this thing from leaking. So you want to make sure you put this bolt in right. Alright, so let's let me open this package up. Take these bolts out. Old ones. We're gonna take our old ones, throw them right in the box. Open this up. And we're gonna go over here and see if we can set this camera up for a good angle. So we can set this pump in. Matter of fact, I think I can set it up over here. Yeah, if I can get it right there, that'd be great. Alright, bear back. Yeah, that looks like a good angle right there. Alright, I just want to make sure I set this up before I go get the pump. And actually, if you look inside there, you can see that lobe. Alright, bear back. Okay, we're back. And also what I got here, I put a little bit more oil into our cap. Because the first thing we're going to do is set down the follower, this little cap right here. And I want to put a little oil around this. And then we're going to set this right down into there just like that. That looks perfect. Perfect. Next thing we're going to do is set down our pump. Alright. Make sure nothing. You want to make sure that plunger goes right down into that cap. We're going to start our bolts because this thing is spring loaded. So push down, hold it by hand a little bit. You might have to wiggle it around to get the bolt started. Alright, let's get another bolt started. As a matter of fact, to make this easier, let's go get my T30. So we can really get this thing down there. And it's good to do it, start them off by hand, so in that way you're not cross-threading. You see that? That thing went down so easy. Alright, got our same tool, our 2-inch extension, 1/4-inch drive with our 1/4-inch drive T30 socket. And I want to go around and I can bring them in more by hand. And at the same time, push this pump down. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm positive nothing's cross-threaded, so I can go ahead and hold this pump down and bring these bolts in. And you want to bring them all down evenly, because you don't want this pump going down crooked in any shape, form, or fashion. Yeah, look at that. There we go. Alright, now I'm down. So what I'm going to do now is turn till it stops. Just a little bit more. You will snap these bolts off inside that aluminum. So be very careful. As soon as you feel that ratchet stop, a little bit more. That's it. And we got our pump bolted in. The next thing we're going to do is let's hook up our lines. Because those lines could be a little problem. And you notice that's why I didn't put my vacuum pump on yet. Because taking this apart, it's easier. See if we can see down in there. Yeah, there we go, right there. Let's get out the way. And we get that flare nut up there. And try to get that started. Okay, this one you probably have to use 2 hands on this. So let me use my 2 hands to get that started. And I'll be right back. Alright, let me see if I can set this camera up in a way where you can see it. This is not easy. Because what I'm going to do is take this hand and hold that line into place while I start the ferrule nut up there. See, this is why I got the vacuum pump out of there, because there's no way of doing this with that thing in the way. Okay. I had it started, but it didn't feel right. So that thing should go in with no problem. See that? Like just like that. Go up there with no problem and twist it on. So I know I'm not cross-threaded, because you do not want that cross-threaded. Now we got that up there. And it looks like our flare one right there is already right in place. Let me make sure here. Yeah, it's right there. Alright, let's get the bolt and hook that up there. Right back. Alright, here we are. Now we have here, I'm going to say 8mm or 6 spline socket. See them the splines up there? Because the bolt that goes up there is this one right here. And there's a spline. So we got to hold this into place now. The first thing we're going to do is we got us an 8.5-inch 3/8 drive extension with a 5/16, or you can use 8mm 3/8 drive socket, and we're gonna do the trick again. Unless you got already a socket made like that. Gonna put our little plastic over there. Stick our socket in there. That's gonna hold it into place. Then we're gonna use another piece of plastic. Fold that over. And I fold that over 2 times. I want to make sure this don't come out. I'm gonna stick this right into there. There we go. You might want to know the reason why I did all that memory jammer stuff right there. Alright, check it out. To get this in there, we have to go from the bottom through all this and come up. Alright, that's why on this intake over here, down in there, you see how it was a little cut out right there. So let's get this going and see if we can film this and do it at the same time. Alright, so we're going to take our tool, go down like this. We're going to judge where we... Dang it, that thing came right off already. Dang it. Ah. Alright, let's get the boat and set it up again. Alright, got my boat back. It's up under the car. Alright, I'm going to try this another way. How about... Now this is what we're going to do here. Our tool has got to go into here. And you can see it right there coming up. Alright, so what if I hold this right there? Man, I want you guys to see this. Because what I'm going to do here is I got the boat in my other hand. I got the boat in my other hand, and I'm going to come back through this way and try to hold it into place. Dang, that's almost perfect right there. Now why the heck did the camera move, man? Nothing's holding it, dang it. Nothing touch it. So I am going to try to reach over here and try to get this boat into place without dropping it. And I get so close too. I mean, I'm like right there. Or if I can stick it onto the socket. Nah, that ain't gonna work either. I'm about to drop it. I think the easiest way, let me put the piece of plastic up there again while you're sitting there waiting. Maybe I'll use a thicker piece of plastic. Alright, let's see this. Ah, there. Alright. I'm going to be very careful and try to go up. Yeah, I might have to move try to move that line a little bit. You can see that. There it is right there. It's going in. Man, I'm good. Alright, as you can see down here, which I should have got my ratchet so I can tighten it up. Dang it! Ah! I should have had my ratchet in my hand so I can tighten this up at the same time. Tighten it up as much as I can. Yeah, it came out of there good. I don't care. Alright, now I'm going to take move my plastic out of the way. And I'm ready to tighten this up. And what I got here, I'm going to tighten it up with my stubby ratchet first so I get enough swing in there. Matter of fact, no. Let me just use my regular ratchet. Alright, so I got my ratchet and everything in here. And let's go back down there. See, alright, now I'm going to need two hands to tighten this up, so I'm going to set you down right there. And it's not super tight, just so it stops. Just a little bit more. There we go. We tightened up. Now, we're not done yet. Now what we got to do is tighten up that ferrule nut in the back. Or you're going to have gas leaking all over the place. Alright? So let's get our wrench and tighten that up. We'll be right back. Okay. The next thing we'll do, get us an, I got an 11/16, but you can also use a 17 millimeter. Matter of fact, I prefer you using a 17 millimeter stubby wrench We're going to get back here. And we can get a good angle at this at. Right about here. And let's tighten this up. And see, this is much easier to do when that air pump is not in the way. You can see how an angle I got this at. And I'm gonna go tighten that up. There we go. Alright, next thing we're gonna do is put back our Schrader valve. That's the next thing in line. Alright, so what we're gonna do is go over here. Goes right to the top of the pump. I'm gonna screw that in there. And we used I believe we used a 13 millimeter deep socket. Let me take off the cap. And let's get our socket right back. Alright, 13 millimeter deep 3/8 drive or 3/8 drive flex head ratchet. And what we're going to do is reach in there. And I can't stress this enough. This is all aluminum. You over tighten one of these things and mess it up, you are done for. Alright, let me set the camera down here. Because I need to get in here. As soon as it stops, a little bit more. That's it. Let's put our cap back on. The next thing we're going to do is our air pump. Remember that, remember this down here? This little bracket with all these ground wires to go to? Our air pump has a big bolt at the bottom. That's what it bolts onto, right there. Hooks onto there. And that bolts on right to there. Alright? So, let's take our bolts out. The other two are small. Take this one out. And if you notice, it sets in a slot. So you want to make sure that slot lines up. Looks like it's pretty even. You ain't got to worry about misaligning it or anything. But what you want to do here is get you a mirror. Get your mirror. You want to set your mirror up behind the engine. And let's see here. There's our slot right there. Alright. So that slot right in there. So we see it's facing upward. So I know it's right about here. Now we don't have to be precise, but you need to be really close. So I'm gonna set this up where I know it's at. Drop that in there. Now, I'm not really worried about this thing aligning yet. Because we can always turn our pump. Look at that. On the first try. It'll end up right in there. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, let's go over here. Set you down. And we're going to zoom in to where it's at. So in that way I can use both my hands and make sure this thing is lined up perfectly in there. There it is. Now, where's our bolts at? Where's our bolts? There they go, up here. So we know one of my small ones is going to go right here. And these bolts are T30s. Okay. Number 2 is going to go right over here. I'm making sure I do this by hand so I know it's not being cross-threaded. You definitely want to do that. Now number 3 is the problem. Well, it's not too much of a problem. You see it down there like that. And here's our big pan head bolt. So you just got to feel back there for where that lines up at. And try to get that to go line up in there somewhere. Man, they could have made that easier. They could have definitely made that easier for me. Get that. Dang it. I got it. Dang it, I got it? Wow. let me see, make sure that. Where's our mirror at? I'm gonna make sure I got this. And I don't even know if can I fit my mirror in there now. Yeah, you can see it right there. You can see it right on the top. Let's see if I can put my other hand back there. There you go. Something. You can see where I got the bolt. I got it started right in there. Wow. That was pretty cool. Alright. And let's see, I wish I can see, get you a better angle at this. Matter of fact, yeah, you can see right there. You can see the bolt right there. And then that's gonna straighten up. So I'm screwing in and we're gonna tighten that up. And I want to make sure that we are good on this, because that thing, I definitely want us to have a good ground on that. I do not want anything messing up with that ground. Okay, that's even better. Yeah, we got it. Alright, let me get the tools and I'll be right back. Alright, we have here, I had to do a little plastic on this because this Craftsman ratchet ain't really that good. It holds on to sockets. And I got my T30. T30 1/4" drive socket. And what I'm going to do is reach down here. And I'm going to start from that big pan head one. And start tightening it up. Now, you don't have much room at all. That's why I'm using this 1/4" drive. No, actually the other one broke. But using this one, I'll reach right down in there. And you're gonna have to have 2 hands and get it. Try to do this with one. And matter of fact, let me show you up here the angle how it is. Because you got like no room at all on this thing. See, you gotta be in there like this to do that. I'm doing this wrong. Okay, but you're gonna be using that. And matter of fact, hey, hold on. tighten them bolts up. I'm gonna start with this one, then I'm gonna go down there with the big pan head. You can see it's tight. Ain't nothing to play with inside there. It's like turning just a little bit at a time, man. It's like, and these are nice too. As soon as it stops, just a little bit more, and that's it. All right. So let's reach down there and get them other two. Now for this one way at the bottom, now I can really get to it. My left hand is I'm on the head of the bolt. What I'm gonna do is take my ratchet, reach down there like this, get them lined up, and tighten it up. And that's the one with the ground. Remember that bracket with them grounds on it, or you're gonna be in a world of trouble. There we go. And same principle, tighten up the other one. When you get that done, join me. I'll be right back. All right, let's get down to it. Next thing is I'll get a little wiring harness around here. All right, and we're gonna bring this around here. You see the little plug right there? It's gonna go down into there. One right there. And the other one goes over here. Okay, looking good. And we have this one right here, and we gotta hook up this connector inside of here so it snaps into place. Let's get that up there like it's supposed to. I'm gonna snap that into place. Okay. And let's see, we're gonna have our coils coming down, so we know our harness goes like this. And we got a plug right here. That's gonna go right over here to this sensor, and we'll be good to go. Better yet, I think this will be better. Pop this back out, and we're gonna put that down in there. All right. And then we're gonna see what's next on the party line. All right, be right back. All right, our next step is our timing cover and our camshaft sensor. All right, so we got our timing cover right here. And what we're gonna do here is lower this down. I'm gonna have to use both my hands, so we're gonna have to get this thing in there. We gotta move this out the way at the same time. It's about to rain out here. I hope we can get this done before it starts raining. There we go. It's into place. And this thing, it bolts up to the valve cover, so it is going to be loose. The next thing we're going to do is get our cam sensor with our T30 Torx bolt. And let's see here, let's set this bolt down someplace. Set it right there. Alright, and our cam sensor sits right here. It goes upward, and the bolt hole's on the top. So we know it's got to go like that. So we're going to reach down, put that in there like that, twist it, and while we're pushing it in, there you go. Take our bolt. Get that started in there. Just like that. Look at that. Look at that. Same T30. Where is that? Where is it? You hate when you put the stuff down, man, and this thing just like disappears on you. Alright, let me find it. Oh, there it is. Alright. And we're going to go in there. And then you're going to slowly tighten that up. Let's see here. There we go. And it looks like I turn that a little bit at a time. And it's not super tight because that's plastic now. It ain't going in aluminum. Alright. Got that up. Plug it up till it clicks, and that'll be that. And then we're going to go on to the valve cover gasket. Alright, be right back. Alright, we got our valve cover. And before we do anything, let's take off our 2 bolts that's going to the timing cover so they don't interfere with anything. This is why we like putting bolts back to where they belong, because those bolts could have been anywhere. And we never know. If you look up at the sky, man, it looks like it's supposed to start raining at 10 o'clock, critique. So I'm trying to get this done. I know you're not expecting it really till Tuesday, actually, because we're not supposed to get the seals. We're not supposed to have got the seals till Monday. But hey, early is better. All right, first of all, you see this little gasket on the side? Take that right off. Throw that away, turn it upside down. Now you got your valve cover gasket. Just grab a little nice hold of it, and you're gonna pull it from around the bolts to hold it down. Pull that up. Alright, the next thing we want to do, throw this away. The next thing we're going to do, wipe my hands off. And we're going to get our carburetor cleaner, or our case starting fluid, and we're going to clean all the grooves out. Because you don't want that oil down in there. And you want a nice and fresh job, and especially over here on the side. So I'm going to take this right there, and I think we're almost out of this too. Like that. And then on the side. Alright. Now what we're going to do, get our air and blow dry that. By doing this, make sure the gasket stays into place. Take our rag and just wipe all the excess oil from around there. And now we're working with a nice dry valve cover. Alright, get our new valve cover gasket. And what we're going to do first is lay it out so we can know exactly where it goes. Just want to make sure all the bolts and everything line up. See right there, doesn't look like it lines up pretty well, so I'm going to turn it around. And that way it looks like it lines up a heck of a lot better. So we know, now we know which way this goes. Okay. Now, I'm gonna show you a little one or two of them. And what you want to do is hold the bolt up, and while you hold the bolt up, push the gasket down and around that bolt, so that holds it into place. Hope you could have saw that. Let's do another one. Matter of fact, let's do a harder one. Let's do one in the middle. On the other side, I'm holding the bolt up, and then what I'm going to do is just push the gasket around it, and now it's into place. Okay, then you want to make sure it sets in the groove right there. Then go to another one. It's good to start from the center, push it around, work it into place. There we go. And let's do all the bolts like that so it can keep this gasket into place. Alright, right back. Okay, we got the gasket into place. And go around, just push it down. Make sure it sets really good. And if you want, what you can actually do is take a small amount of weather stripping glue and put it in there so it holds in place. We don't turn it upside down, but this one's holding pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do is turn our gasket around, turn our valve cover around this way. And then we got the other new gasket for the side cover. And I'm going to line this up and see which way it goes. And just notice there's a little tip sticking out right here, and there's one right there. So now we know exactly how this gasket right here goes. And that is cool. We are ready to set this on the car. Alright, so I'm going to get you set up over here. We're going to move our coil harness out of the way. Now the first thing we're going to do is clean up the old gasket and the old material and everything. And we're going to get a rag and wipe it up. And you can see a little right here, like some kind of sealer or something. We're going to clean that up. And we're going to get our blower to blow anything else, kind of dirt or anything that fell inside there. So I got my rag. Going around, cleaning it up. And just like I said, this one got a little glue in it. So what I'm going to do is take my rag, I'm going to just stick it right about here. Get it stuck in there. And get me another one. In fact, let me get a cleaner rag than the other one I got. I'm going to take my wire brush and just go around all that stuff is at, because I don't want that not allowing that gasket to seal down. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright. Got my wire wheel brush. And another rag just to stick it over there. And just clean this up a little bit. This last one back here. Alright. Up here. Alright. Let me just get it something covered up over there. cover it up. Alright, there we go, that's looking good. Now I'm gonna get my little air tool, air chuck, blow gun, just in case something got down in there. Blow it out just like that. That looking good. That looking good. Alright, next I'm gonna do is grab my valve cover. And if you remember before, we had, see this pipe over here. It's a stiff pipe. So what we want to make sure it goes on that pipe first. And then lower the valve cover down. But we got to do this carefully, because we got to make sure our valve cover don't misalign or come out of place. Make sure our harness is out of the way. All right. So I'm going to slowly bring this down, and my gasket stayed in place. Put that into there. Okay, now it's in there. Now I'll just look on the other side. Make sure my gasket did stay into place. I'm going to slowly bring it down now. It's very important, and I recommend using a little sealer on there or something. You want to make sure that gasket stays. We want to make sure that gasket does not drop down in there. And we're looking good, so we're going to slowly bring it down into place. There it is. And I'm going to start one of the bolts. Just so it don't move. And here's another one I'm going to start just in case. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we got that started. I like that, I like that. Next thing we're gonna do, let's get our T30. Where is it? There it is. And we're gonna get our little cordless gun. We're gonna start tightening these up from the center. Be right back. All right, got my cordless gun, 1/4" drive adapter on here. 2-inch drive, 2-inch 1/4" drive extension with my T30 1/4" drive socket. And you want to start from the center just till it stops. That's all you have to do. Okay, now we're going to start from the center and work our way out. There you go, guys. Look at that. This car is looking great. This is looking really good. Really good. All right, the next thing we're going to do is let's get our 2 bolts over here, T30. We're going to put them into our timing cover. Make sure they lining up. Going in by hand, which is great. So we know they're not cross-threaded or anything. Look a little crooked. There we go. To the side on that one. There we go. Get our other one. Okay, now you're going to take off the adapter on the gun. You're going to take off the socket, and we're just going to use our 1/4" drive ratchet. And what I want you to do is tighten up this one, and then we're going to bring our clamp forward, tighten up the clamp, before anything, push this hose back here. And don't push this hose on. Alright, and our clamp is back here. We're going to tighten that up. Get some vice grips. Anything out here? No, get some needle nose. And just bring that forward. Alright, so let's get those two tightened up. And then let's tighten up the clamp. And then we're going to bring this clamp forward. Be right back. Alright, the next thing we're going to do here, let's go over here. Get our flat screwdriver. Let's tighten up this clamp. Now, or you can use a 5/16 or an 8mm socket and tighten that up. We're going to get our needle nose pliers, needle nose vice grips, and we're going to squeeze this clamp together. Bring it up, release it. We are looking really good here. This thing is really coming out nice. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, back here, we got this hose just hanging. Where the heck did that hose go? Dang it. This hose goes through this little tube right here, which is going to your brake booster. So you want to just push it around there. And now remember, we had to cut the clamp off to the other side, so we're going to get us a new clamp and put up here. Matter of fact, let's go get that now before we hook that up. And then, matter of fact, I guess since we're over here, we might as well get to it, put them in here now. Our ignition coils. And remember, we marked all our ignition coils. So cylinder 1 dot. Okay. Number 3. Number 2. And number 4. Alright, then we got this one little bolt up here because it was missing one over there. We got the other one, I gotta get that out. And let's go get a clamp for that over there. I'll set the camera up and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's get back there in that section. We got here is a brand new clamp. We'll put the clamp onto the hose. Bring the hose down. Fit it into the grommet. Come over this side. Turn our clamp like that. Let's get this hose on there. Like that. And what we got here, that's an 8mm clamp. And I like to use this little the driver with an 8mm deep socket on it. And what I'm gonna go in there and tighten that up. Perfect. Good. Very good. Very, very good, guys and girls. Very good. Let's get this out of the way because our next step is putting that little breather assembly on it, which is right here. And we got 3, 4 T30 bolts on it. So let's turn this over and get those bolts out of here. And what we're going to do here, there we go. And what I'm going to do here is squeeze this in there. I'm not going to hook up none of the hoses yet. Just squeeze our breather down in there. Just get one of our bolts started just like that. And I'm going to go around and get our other ones started. I'm not going to tighten them up yet, just want to make sure I can get them started. And one of them is very difficult to kind of get to. So I'm gonna show you the same little trick we used before. All right, where's that plastic at? All right. So I'm gonna take my little plastic. Hook it onto the bolt. Man, what the heck? Oh, these are not a T30. Dang it. They're 225 or something. Alright, no problem. Be right back. Alright. These bolts are T25. So I got my T25 quarter-inch drive socket. I got two 2-inch quarter-inch drive extensions and my driver. So I'm going to fold this up and make sure that it fits in there nice and tight. Let's set this down for a minute. Because what we got to do is get to that fourth bolt. That's way on the side of this. This thing's way up under there. So, matter of fact, right there. Right in there. So, that's why I got this long hole thingamajig. To get in there. And just to get it started. Alright, got that started. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten that one up. And these are just hand tight, as you can get it. And this is a little stuck in there, so we're just going to have to get a screwdriver or something and get that out of there. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to just go ahead and tighten up the other ones. These gnats out here. Okay. And number 4. Okay, we got that. Now what we do is go around. We got our little holes right here. Just push it. It'll go right into place. Okay, then we got our little holes. Let's get the bottom one first, the big one. The one right here. Squeeze that. Push that into place till it, there we go, locks into place. And then we got this one right here that we gotta move and put it up under the hose, up under this main hose. Squeeze that, push that into place. There we go. And we are looking really good, really good. Let's get this, hook this into that harness over there. Keep that wiring harness out of the way. I'll get you in a minute. Alright, okay, let's get this bolt out of here so we can hook up our coils. Then we gotta jack it up, and I gotta drain the oil. Let me see this. Dang it, put that thing in there. Where's our tool to do this? Let's see, is this a 25 like I got it? Nope, smaller. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright. It's really starting to get dark out here. It's going to rain in a minute. I got a T20 bolt here. Just had that thing loose. And also what I did, let's get this out, put this aside. And also what I ran is wire, this harness, the harness to that sensor over there, had it underneath. It looks a lot better. And this right here just turns and hooks onto that right there. Great, everything's looking good. And good, got that bolt out. Let's bring our harness up to our coils. Get them all lined up in place and push them up evenly. There we go. Alright, they're all in place. And we got our little solenoid back here. Let's make sure we plug that in. This way. Get that harness, push that harness down a little bit. Okay, that's in. Great. Okay. Let's get our T20 little bolt. Hold that in. Tighten that up. Okay, that's just really holding the harness in place. Once these connectors get up there, they snap right into place and they good. Alright, we got a little harness going over here for our O2 sensor. This is push that back into place right there. We are looking really good, and hopefully we can do this before it actually starts raining, because it's definitely dark right now. Alright, the next thing I gotta do, I gotta jack this up because we gotta change this oil. So let me jack it up and get this oil drained out of here. Be right back. Alright guys, got it jacked up and got it on our jack stand. Alright. Let's see. The oil filter on this is located on the left side of the engine. Let's get a light right here so I can see. And it's a cartridge. And there's the housing right there. And you got to be very careful because a lot of shops will not change this oil filter because you can't tell whether it's new or not. So and you got to take off that housing. And the problem with this is you got a motor mount sensor. Yeah, that's right, I did say that. A motor mount sensor that's getting in the way. There's a big nut right there at the bottom. I think, at least that was a 30. I'll check it to be sure. But first we got to see that the sensor is right in the way. You don't have to remove the sensor, but you do got to unplug it. And that plug is the same thing as these plugs up here. You get a little screwdriver, you stick it right between there, pop that piece back, and it'll snap right out of there. It's kind of dark in here. Popped it right off. 36, that was it. So 36 millimeter 12 point. It's not a 12 point, but I like to use my 12 point because I got my nice little set. It is definitely about to pour down out here. So let me get that, and we need a 19 millimeter for the drain plug. All right, right back. All right, here's our tools. I know this is a big one. This is the 3/4 inch drive, 36 millimeter Pittsburgh sockets. Great. We got our drain pan up under the oil pan, 19 millimeter bolt. Go right here. Take that loose. Come over here and let that drain out. Come on, let that drain out. Dang it, I am too close to be stopping right now. There we go. It's getting windier. Alright, I want to make sure my pan is definitely lined up to. This thing is still tight. Dang it. This thing gonna pour out of there. That's a long bolt. Okay, here we go. Coming out by hand now. Be careful of that little washer up there, because that's not a washer, it's a gasket. Okay, and there we go. All right, that's coming out of there. Now we got our motor mount sensor unplugged. Let me get a little rag here. All right, and while that's draining, this is about an 8-inch extension up here. So we're gonna go up under here, and there it is right there. All right, let me see if I can just get some light hooked up right there. And dang it, I'm trying to get this light hooked up, guys, so you can see this and see how I do it, because this is getting dark out here. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, let's get our tool right here. Go into here and snake around like I ain't got nothing better to do, and I got it hooked on. And you turn it. Now I'm not going to loosen up, taking out all the way, because I'm waiting for our oil to finish, and then I'm gonna close that up. And then we're gonna go back over to this. All right. Let me show you how I got this everything hooked up in there. There, you see it. All right. Be right back. All right, we're back. That's closed off. Now we're gonna go over here, loosen that up. And when it's loose enough to get it by hand, I'm gonna take our ratchet out of there. Let's see if we can go up on top. Put a light and finish taking this thing out. Yeah, there it is. Boy, it's a mess. It's a mess. Take this whole thing out, and there we go. Alright guys, I'm dripping oil down here. I'm gonna have to put you down for a second so I can get this out. This thing, I don't think this thing has ever been changed. I don't think anytime he ever had oil changed, I don't think it's been changed. Let's see if we can set you down. And, yeah, let's take this out of here. Let's take our pan from under the car. All right, guys, it's definitely starting to rain. Dang it! So there's actually going to be a part 5, and we're going to take this in the truck. Put this in the truck. Push this hood down. Maybe let's push it down just a little bit. Got a mirror up under here. I don't think that thing's been changed. Let's just push this down. All right, let's clean up all our tools and all, cardboard, and get inside the truck. Be right back. All right, guys and girls, here's our setting up. Here's our oil filter. Made in Korea. I'm not even sure if this is the original one or not. So we're gonna pull our filter out. Set it down to the side, and now we got a little gasket around there, a little O-ring. And pay attention to this O-ring, because you notice there's a lip sticking out right there. So you want to make sure you grab by the lip right there. And if you want, because I don't think there's no specific way where this goes, but just in case it does, we're going to take our little screwdriver. I'm gonna mark right there so I know where to put our new one at. Alright, so I'm going to pull this up. Dang it. Okay, here we go. I still see my mark right there where I put it. And there's a little indent, little mark over here too. See how the filter housing has a little part that's sticking up right there. And I got my mark right here. I wonder if they put that in, I don't know. But that's kind of weird right there. So we're going to grab our new seal. Here's our new seal right here. And what you got to do is get a little oil. So we're going to get some fresh oil here. Some fresh oil into the cap. We dip our fingers in it. And we're going to put some oil around that to make sure it sits down in there. And we're going to set that down in there. Make sure it's snug. There we go. You definitely want to put a new one in there because you definitely don't want this thing to leak. Alright, next we're going to do is take our new filter. Put it down. There we go. This got the Audi's thing on. I'm not sure if this was changed. Now you definitely want to change. Look at that, man. When I squeeze that, I mean that thing come on really. I don't know if they haven't been changing that oil filter, you can definitely lose oil pressure on this car and cause you a problem. All right, let me get a rag, wipe this off, and we're gonna put this back in there and try to get this car done. Take my gloves off. We'll be right back. All right, we set up over here. And I'm gonna do is take my filter and everything set up, and set this thing down there. Give me something to for a second. And let me see if I can get something so you can see it as well. Hold on, be right back. All right, let's go down here. Put this thing back up in here. Yeah, I can see people not changing this filter, especially you know with them quick lube oil filters, oil places. They ain't looking to go through this. All right. Got my filter up there. Yeah. Now screw the housing on. I want to make sure I get this housing going on by hand. Yep, there it is. Alright, and now I'm going to tighten it up. Go in there, tighten it up with my 36mm wrench. You know, where is it at? There it is, right there. Then I'm going to plug back up that mount sensor. Alright, do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, last but not least, put the oil in. We got our funnel. Again, the customer got Mobile 1 Advanced Full Synthetic 0W40. So let's put our oil in, and then we come back. We're going to be ready to start this. Be right back. All right. Let's see how much is in here. Okay, it's starting to rain again. It looks like it can go a little bit more. That's all I got is 5 quarts. Let's start this up. Okay. All right. Okay. This sounds really, really good. And what I gotta do is let it run for a while, because when he brought it to me, it wasn't making that noise. Well, yes it was, because it warmed up. But when I started up the next morning, it wasn't making that noise. So I know it had to do with oil pressure, the thinning of the oil, maybe a clogged oil filter that was messing that up. And we saw that chain was broken and all. So we're gonna let this run for about 15-20 minutes, and then we're gonna come right back. We'll be back. All right, here we are. We put the cover back on. Car's been running for about an hour now. Nice and smooth. Go over here. Check the temperature. Temperature's just about at operating temperature, just about halfway. No lights on. Everything good. It's wipers work. Great. Antifreeze is good. I am going to recommend to Petite, if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you are, definitely let's get that next thing you want to do, whether it's done by us or somebody in Raleigh, get that front timing belt done. And when you do the front timing belt on this, do the front timing belt, get the 2 idler pulleys, the little round pulleys like that. I should have showed you when I had this cover off, and a new tensioner. Definitely want to do that. You definitely don't want nothing happening to this belt. Now we got the back perfectly together. Perfectly. This is Astro. Alright. And let's see, here's our oil filter. Now see, guys and girls, dang it, man, you can see it. Look inside there. Matter of fact, wow, man, that's really clogged up inside there. You know what? Let me cut that open so we can take a look at that. Alright? Let me cut. I'll be right back. Alright, got my camera set up. Look at that sludge. Look at that sludge in there. Like it's still there, man. Open this paper up. Trying to look for any kind of fiber or metal and all, but good, I don't see some. You gotta be very careful when you take it to these quick oil change places. You know, you gotta think they stock filters, but what's the possibility of them having one for the Audi, or Mercedes or BMW, the cartridge types? What's the chances of them having them? And if they do have them, what kind of quality is it? Because if this thing gets clogged, it can mess up that tensioner also, because it clogs up the ports and all. This is really kind of messed up. And this one, you know, I should run this part number. I know. What is this? Wick 45. So at one point, I mean, it better have been from 2006. It better have been changed at one time. We got a wick filter here. Oil change places don't carry no wick. No quick change. So I don't know, guys. You know, I mean, you guys out there who works on cars, you know, your chances are very slim. You going for a $30 oil change, and they giving you this filter, and this car's supposed to take a 540 synthetic. What's your chances of getting that actually? I mean, they're gonna be like, well, the customer's not gonna take this oil out and have it tested. So what's the chances of you getting that even though you're paying for it? You gotta be careful of that. Take it to a place that you trust. All right, we'll be right back.